All right, welcome to Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. My name is John Santucci. Call me Tooch. With me, as always, is Anthony from Pounded Sports. Anthony, Friday football. We got college football, 4 games to talk about. Maybe the dogs are barking tonight.
Yeah, someone just came to the door. Yeah, we're looking forward to tonight's game. We got a good set of games today. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah, we do. We got 4 games on tap. The first game we're going to talk. First, let's talk a little bit about yesterday's games before we move on.
That was awful. So McCaffrey gets hurt in the first quarter. Was it first quarter, John? First quarter?
I think it was the second quarter, but
first half. Second quarter. Yeah. So our free play was -5.5 first half, and the over 5.5 receptions by McCaffrey. Well, McCaffrey gets hurt. That throws out our prop because he had 2 receptions. He would have cashed it. I'm very positive he would have cashed it.
He would have cashed.
That was exactly the game exactly what it was on. It showed the under and the cover. But to me, like we were talking about, it's just too good to be true. I couldn't touch it. We had the teaser for our 10-unit bomb, Panthers plus -2, and Appalachian State -1, which pushed. So the Panthers game to me was not my greatest night. I'm just gonna say not my greatest night.
Right. I like the under because the rookie quarterback. I said I didn't think he'd be able to put up 10 points. He only put up 6, Davis Mills.
Yeah, you called it. You called it for sure. It looked too good to be true for me. I thought it was a trap game, and for the most part, we stayed away from it, except for the first half, the prop, and teaser. And the teaser I thought was the best play of the day, which was, but Appalachian State decided to fall down at the 3-yard line instead of score a touchdown. So we pushed overall.
That hurt. That was he was running for the end zone. Here we go.
You didn't see it. It was at the 10-yard line. Oh yeah, he just stops at the 3-yard line, which is the right move. It is the right move because you're trying to seal the game. You don't want to give the ball back to Marshall up 8 because they can easily go tie it. So that was the right move, but in a betting aspect, it was not in our favor.
Yeah, it was like having your teeth pulled out.
Yeah.
So the rookie quarterbacks, in today's NFL, I think I'm going to be leaning under. It's the same. You and I talked about the Patriots and Jets. Mac Jones going against Zach Wilson, and we were pretty sure that neither of those guys were going to put up 43 points total. That was the right play.
Same scenario. That was the right play.
Same setup.
Yeah, I mean the under and the Panthers was the right play.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just couldn't touch it because it seemed a little too good to be true.
Yeah, we couldn't pull the trigger on it, but there'll be more of these games. So we'll be looking for that max. We'll be looking for the max edge in those games. That's what we do. All right. So first college games we're going to talk about is Charlotte versus Middle Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee State head to Charlotte. This line opened at -2 and 56 over under. Charlotte 2-1 against the spread, and Middle Tennessee State is 1-2 against the spread. Charlotte has played, I think I would say probably, they both played decent. Middle Tennessee State has played a couple tough teams. They've
also played on the road twice. They beat Monmouth. That doesn't count.
Right.
They lost to Virginia Tech
which is a good team, decent team.
They lost on the road. They lost by 21. Then they go to UTSA, which is another good team.
Yeah.
No one realized it. That's a solid loss.
Yep.
But then Charlotte, I've always liked Charlotte coming into the season. They beat Duke. We were on that. Gardner Webb. That doesn't count. And then they lost last week in Georgia State. That was their first road game. Lost their 20-7. To me, they could have had a better performance.
Yeah.
But
they only put up 7 points in that game, and they're more of an offensive team. Which worries me, and that's my initial. Let's look at where the money and the bets are. 77% of the bets are on Charlotte, and 76% of the money is on Charlotte, -3 at home, but they're getting 3 points for being at home, which means at a neutral site, this is probably an even game. Let me throw one more number at you. Middle Tennessee State 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games against Charlotte. So Middle Tennessee State can beat Charlotte.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's going to be a great game. Like you said, 4-1 straight up last 5 meetings versus Charlotte.
Yeah.
That's a statistic I didn't know about until you really said it. But overall, for this game, I love Charlotte. They're at home. They play better at home, obviously. They beat Duke at home. I think this is going to be a really close game. Probably going to be a game that if you're betting it, it's going to be a sweat job. But I think Charlotte at the end of the day.
I like the easy games. I like the games where we have the max edge.
Exactly. But you know what? It's these type of games that you're addicted to. These are the type of games because our adrenaline goes, your sweaty palms, all that. That's the love of the game.
Let me throw one more little tidbit at you. Middle Tennessee State starting quarterback Bailey Hockman left the team earlier this week, and they'll be going with their backup. A backup guy, he's better than the guy that left, so I'm not worried about that. The backup quarterback has got better numbers. I don't think that'll affect Middle Tennessee State in this game. For me, initially, this is a stay away game for me.
Yeah, I like Charlotte. I really do like Charlotte in this game. The total, I'm not even. I hate the total. Hate the total. But overall, if I had to pick, I mean, I really like Charlotte in this game. I think they come out firing. Really big disappointment last week, and I think they have something to prove. Take care of home field advantage.
Okay. Moving on, we've got a really good game with some offensive firepower. Virginia hosting Wake Forest. Virginia, a 4-point favorite at home, and Wake Forest, 4-point dog on the road. This line pretty much opened this at 4, stayed at 4, over under 68.5 now. So there's 2 teams that can really score a lot. Virginia 2-1 and 2-1 against the spread. They had that win against Illinois. That was a little surprising win. You know, they beat William and Mary. That was a cupcake. And then last week they lost to North Carolina, which, you know, North Carolina is supposed to be a pretty good team. You know, they've got a quarterback that's a Heisman contender. And Wake Forest, man, they're 3-0, but 1-2 against the spread. They beat 2 cupcake teams, and they end up beating Florida State too. But I think we talked about that game last week, didn't we? Florida State, Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest, they just annihilated them. That was a very, very sad performance by Florida State. What a joke. But is it that Florida State not that good, or is Wake Forest that good? Is this line correct? I mean, I'm all over Wake Forest. I'm buying into the hype train on Wake Forest. Virginia's favored only because they're at home. That's it. If it was reverse, Wake Forest would have been -3. I'm going to go with the road dog on this one, Wake Forest +3. I really like Wake Forest. They manhandled Florida State. I think that's a decent word to use in that situation. But I'm leaning definitely Wake Forest +3.
Well, the trends will support that. I'll give you one number here. Wake Forest 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games against Virginia. So, but Virginia 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games. The total's gone over in 14 of the last of Virginia's 19 games. This game points to the over, but 68.5 points, man. That's a lot of points. That's you're looking at 10 touchdowns. So each team got to score a touchdown every quarter, and we need 2 extra scores.
See, I trust Wake Forest scoring the touchdowns. I don't trust Virginia scoring 7s against the Wake Forest defense. I think this Wake Forest defense is a lot better than we imagined or even thought of. I mean, look what they did to Florida State. Look what they did to Old Dominion. I mean, they just annihilated everybody in their path. They beat Florida State 35-14, and they were 4-point favorites. That's it. Now they're 3-point dogs. What tells me that they can win this game by at least 10?
Wake Forest.
I'm all over Wake Forest in this one.
Wake Forest getting 4 points, man. I kind of like that too. For the totals, I don't know. That's a lot of points. Yeah, we need a 38.
Too early in the season for me.
We need a 38-35 game for this. 38-31. You know,
I don't see Virginia scoring more than 24 points or so. I just don't see it. I believe with Wake Forest will be in the 30s for sure because they're offensive, but they were good last year. Now this year, just got one more year of experience. I'm not sold on the Virginia team. Like you said, Virginia hasn't played anybody. They played North Carolina and they got annihilated. And that's where the total comes from because they gave up 59 points. But that was also on the road.
this
I
number's
think
down
Wake
to
Forest.
3 now. Wake Forest a 3-point favorite or a 3-point dog. So
I like
55%.
Wake Forest 31-21. Wake Forest.
And the public agrees. 55% of the bets are on Wake Forest. 55% of the money on Wake Forest. Our lean max edge is Wake Forest plus the points. It should be a pretty good game if you like offense. Both these teams can put
Yeah, it's
up
gonna be a
points.
great game if you like offense for sure.
Yep. Our third game is Syracuse hosting Liberty. Syracuse a home dog, -7 now. Line opened at 6, so now it's up to 7 as everybody's on Liberty. My concern is that Liberty hasn't played anybody, Anthony.
Well, I remember last year Liberty. I
Yeah.
hate referring to last year because last year is so irrelevant.
Yep.
But Liberty really came on to the map starting last year. They opened some eyes. They were explosive on offense, and they still. I'm pretty sure they brought majority of players back, minus a couple players. But that offense is so sick. It's now they're playing on the road versus Syracuse, who has a very good defense, just very underrated. You saw what they did. They played very tough versus Rutgers. They destroyed Albany. I mean, that doesn't even really count. But Syracuse at home, they play very, very tough no matter who they play at home. There's days they played Clemson at home. They played them tough. And that was when Clemson was stacked. So don't automatically think Liberty's just going to run away with this game. I think Syracuse has something to say for it.
Yeah, and I like 7 points at home, man.
I love 7 points at home.
Is Liberty 7 points better than Syracuse? I don't know. That's my.
I like Syracuse. So when we first started this, it was -6. So right before we started the podcast,
right.
it went up to -7 Liberty. And it's like, whoa, that's a whole other story. If I buy the hook, now I'm going to take Syracuse plus 7.5. That's something. If you guys really like Syracuse, buy the 7 and buy the hook. I mean, it's plus 7.5 is that's a sexy number in this game.
Right. This is definitely the best team that Liberty will have played so far. You know, it's a step up in competition for them too. You know, Syracuse playing by far. Right.
They beat Campbell. They beat Troy. Troy's a decent team, especially in that conference. But Old Dominion, I mean, they haven't played anybody. Of course, you're gonna have
Old Dominion might not win one game this season, so
wouldn't surprise me a bit.
All right. So lean initially is Syracuse at home plus the points. Now that we're getting 7.
I would take the over. If you guys like the over under, I would go over 54.5. I think
right.
Syracuse
So 54.5. So you know it opened at 52.5. So it's been steamed up a little bit. You still like it at that number for 54.5 total?
I do. I think both teams are going to put some points on the board. If Syracuse is going to have any chance of winning this game, they have to put points on the board because they're not going to stop that high explosive offense. They're not going to keep them to like 10 to 15, 13, 14 points. You're going to see this game in the 20s, high 20s, and that's where it's going to go over 54.5.
Can Syracuse score on Liberty's defense?
100%.
All right, you heard it right there. All right, it's our fourth game. This is a game that this is a team that we really have liked this season. We've been on them since the beginning. Fresno State hosting University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Fresno State is now 28.5 point favorite. As people like that 30-31 points, man, when it opened. It opened at -31. You know, people were jumping on UNLV to keep it within 31. I'm not sure they can. I mean, UNLV, they're about in the same league as UConn.
So just like the analogy we used earlier, UNLV is like the West Coast Connecticut. And if anyone knows anything about Connecticut, they're trash. They're horrible. They are a mess. The only thing they have a bright side in that program is they actually have a halfway decent quarterback. But outside of that, it's garbage. They have a lot of recruiting to do. I was actually, I mean, I love the -30. Now it's a 28.5. I'll still take the -28.5. Fresno is the only team in the nation that's 4-0 against the spread this season. 4-0 against the spread first half as well. Me and Tooch, we pounded Fresno State +11, +10.5, and +10 last week in their late game versus UCLA. And look at Fresno won outright and
Yeah.
made us look like geniuses. So
Yeah.
we love Fresno State. So now they're going to play at home. And last time they played at home, they beat Cal Poly 63-10. I mean, Cal Poly is probably a little bit below UNLV, but not that far.
Right. And some numbers here. Fresno State 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games. So they're doing it against the spread too. Total's gone.
The one was dating back to last season.
One was last season, right? So they're 3-0 against the spread this season already. Well, actually, they're 4-0. They played an extra. They played week 0 too, so they're 4-0 against the spread this year.
The first half.
The total has gone over in 4 out of the 6 times they played UNLV. Nevada, Las Vegas, 2-4 against the spread their last 6 games against Fresno. And UNLV has lost 9 straight games, so this is not a cheerful team. You know, they're.
It's really not. It's not a. This is not rocket science. This has Fresno State written all over it. Don't overthink this. I mean, this is for the number to go down. You're getting people betting UNLV just to get. I mean, I'll take Fresno State -30, -31, whatever you give me, I'll take it. 28.5, sure. 28.5, it's even better.
All right. Well, tomorrow we will be here Saturday morning, bright and early, talking college football. Saturday, of course, we'll have about 5 or 6 games to talk about. That'll be starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, on broadcast live on YouTube and on Twitter. How about some of the promos that you and I have going on right now?
Yeah. So my promo today is I have a 10-unit bomb tonight. If it loses, you're going to get a free week. It includes the entire card for the day. It's not just that one play. Go to poundedsports.com. It's $20 for the day. And if it loses, which it's not going to lose, we're 6-1-2 in the last 9 10-unit bombs, or our last bombs, because that includes the 15-unit bomb we gave for free on the show. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. It just makes you more money in the long run.
That's right. All right. And I'm running the same promo. I want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will give you my top play for each day of the weekend. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, send me a shot to my DM on Twitter, and I will send you my top play in college football. If you send it on Sunday, I'll send you my top NFL play. And Monday, you send it on Monday, I'll send you my top Monday Night Football play.
Yep.
Free card.
Can't beat that. It takes 30 seconds to do.
And we're going to give out a free play, right? Today still? College football?
Yes, sir.
All right, Let's give it away. Yeah, last night, our Christian McCaffrey injury couldn't be helped, but our free play is 2 teams, 6-point teaser tonight. Syracuse +12.5. I think it'd be +13 now, right? Are they +7?
No, they're +13. Yeah, +13. When I did it, they were 6.5.
That's all right. That line's moving all the time. So plus Syracuse +13. You get a 6-point teaser with Syracuse and Fresno State tonight.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, I have a hard time seeing Syracuse lose by 2 touchdowns. I have a really hard time seeing it. I know you do as well. And Fresno State, don't overthink this one. This is Fresno State written all over it. They're going to win by at least 3.5 touchdowns, which is the 24 mark. And I also like the over. I'm not going to give it out as a free play, but I think Fresno State could possibly do the over by themselves.
Yeah. You're going to be looking at a 60-0 game, or 50-10.
They beat Cal Poly 63-10. UNLV is not that much worse.
Right. There you go. All right, well, you heard it here, Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show with Anthony and Tooch. And we will see you tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock Eastern. And we'll sign off now.
And I'm the team captain. He's the preview, and I'm the main attraction. Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible. Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible. Invincible hustle, mighty desire to conspire, to transpire.